Welcome, listeners, to another episode of the Chris Talk Show. Let's get into it. What's up, listeners? I am your host with the most, Chris Talks. All right, how are you guys doing? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, a blessed one, because I know I am. So, I hope that y'all out there having a good one, and I just hope you're having a good one. All right, so, our top topic for this episode is kind of bugged out. Now, listen, before I mention this topic, I just want to say this. I told everybody, all right, eventually this just might happen. I don't know who's going to do it, but eventually it just might happen now.
Wait, what?
Yes, I did. I told y'all. So let's get to our top topic for this episode. Okay, Mr. Brian McKnight. Yes, let me say that. Mr. Brian McKnight is suing Miss Jaguar Wright.
Bruh.
I told y'all eventually somebody was going to do it. Somebody was going to do it. And I am really glad that you brought this story here. Who is this? Okay, never mind. I don't even care. I just want to hear the story. I'm hearing it just like everybody else. All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to let Sarah report the story. And as always, I'm going to give you my view and my opinion at the end of it. All right, Sarah, do what you do.
Thank you, Chris. Brian McKnight is suing Jaguar Wright for disparaging comments she made concerning him and his ex-wife, Julie McKnight. According to TMZ, the R&B singer recently filed a lawsuit against Wright for defamation over claims he says are completely false. Per court records, TMZ reported that two things triggered the lawsuit. Wright alleged on her social media platforms that Julie was a victim of verbal assault and domestic violence at the hands of McKnight and that he paid sex workers just to hurt them physically during sexual intercourse. On top of that, she says Julie is her cousin. McKnight has denied all accusations and noted that he's unaware of any family connection Wright says she supposedly has with his ex. McKnight was married to Julie from 1990 to 2003. They share two sons, Brian Jr. and Nico, and a daughter, Brianna. People reported. This incident wouldn't be the first time Wright has been on the hot seat for spilling dark secrets and stories she's professed about different artists, executives, producers and many others within the music industry. As Blavity reported, she has alleged that Common raped her. And in 2024, she was a guest on the Piers Morgan Uncensored TV show. During her appearance, she claimed that Beyoncé and Jay-Z have held people against their will. Among other serious allegations, I've talked to hundreds of victims that I deal with still myself. She told Morgan, according to Vibe, I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimonies about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. Morgan was forced to make an on-air apology to Beyoncé and Jay-Z, clarifying that Wright's claims were unproven. Jaguar, unexpectedly, made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview. Morgan explained in a show following Wright's episode. Per Vibe, as I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves. But now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact. And we've therefore complied with a legal request to cut them from the original interview. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Sarah, thank you for that report. Sarah analyst, she does her thing. All right, listen. So, can you chime me in real quick? Because I just want to jump right on this one. Like, I don't even want to waste. I don't want to waste too much time. You know what I'm saying? So, can you chime me in real quick? All right, folks, all my listeners, that's the part of the show where I give you my view and my opinion. And I'm just I'm gonna say there's a few things that I want to say about this situation, but before I do that, to all my listeners, I know some listeners out there, y'all probably really don't know who Brian McKnight is, but I'll give you a brief history. I forgot what year did you say? All right. Thank you. Okay, listen, Brian McKnight. Okay, for y'all who don't know, Brian McKnight came out, I think, in the early '90s, probably between 1990. I'm not pretty sure. Between 90 and 93, right? Yeah, uh, 92. Okay, so he came out in 92. Brian McKnight is an American songwriter, producer. He also plays multiple instruments, which he has displayed many times. He's also an actor. Did I mention that he was a producer as well? Yeah. Okay. So he does a lot of stuff. Shout out to Brian McKnight. Shout out to him. He's a multi-talented American singer. That's what he is. I mean, and I'm pretty sure most of my listeners, y'all know who Brian McKnight is. But for y'all who did not know who he was, I just wanted to put it out there. In '92, he came out with a lot of hits. We can't play the hits, but he came out with a lot of hits, and he was just like at the man that time. The most I think the worst I think I've heard about Brian McKnight was his performances. They like I don't want to use the word, but they kind of suck.
Wait, what?
From what I heard, his stage performances, they really suck. So, I mean,
Bruh.
that's about the worst I've heard about him. That I've heard. That's the worst I've heard. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody, all my listeners, not all, but most of my listeners, know who Jaguar Wright is. If y'all don't know who Jaguar Wright is, she is also a singer and a writer, an American singer and writer. She did she's most famous for the background singing for Jay-Z when he did I forgot what appearance was that. It was something on MTV or something like that. But she's most famous for that. Besides the different things that she says about celebrities. Now, I've said this once. I'll say it again. Do I believe this woman? I mean, like some stuff, yeah, but there's some stuff,
Bruh.
Now, I'm not saying these accusations against Brian McKnight are true or false. What I'm trying to point out is simply this: they said that she wouldn't be sued, and somebody went for her.
Bruh.
Like, no, I'm dead serious. Somebody went for her. Somebody came for her because of the allegations that she has thrown out. Now, I'm pretty sure all my listeners know the allegations that she has thrown out. Puff Daddy, she has thrown out so many allegations against so many different celebrities: Jennifer Lopez, Puff Daddy, Jermaine Dupri, 50 Cent. The list it goes on. It's so long it goes on. But the only two so far, and I'm glad you brought me the story, Ed. The only two that has stood up against her allegations are Jay-Z and now Brian McKnight. Now, I will say this: Brian McKnight's, I think his reputation is not as big as, his popularity is not as big as Jay-Z's, but Brian McKnight does have somewhat of a squeaky, clean sort of reputation. There's not too much bad that we could find on Brian McKnight besides the fact that I believe he's been divorced. Like,
Bruh.
but that's not a crime or anything like that. But that's about as much dirt as we dug up on him. But Jaguar Wright, I will say this: there is a lot of stuff that she has said on different podcast. I've done different stories on Jaguar White. I, I'm hoping one day that our platform will get a chance to interview her, because my question would be just one thing: where is the evidence? I mean, accusations. Listen, people, accusations to be thrown all over the place, and sometimes throwing around certain accusations can be deadly. In some situations, it can be deadly. Like, for real,
Bruh.
throwing around certain yeah, they can. Throwing around certain accusations can be very, very deadly, because uh, it depends on what it is. That's what I'm saying. It depends on what it is. But she throws around a lot of accusations, and the reason I think a lot of people believe what she says, or is willing to believe what she says, is because a lot of this stuff has to deal with uh, the entertainment industry, and a lot of people. I know I'm just assuming that a lot of people in the back of their mind think that these industries are bad industries. It's not just the industry themselves being bad, but a lot of the people that are involved in these industries are bad people. So,
Bruh.
I mean, that's what I think. Why people believe so much of this stuff, but these are just accusations. And I mean, Jaguar Wright, she has been in the industry for a very long time, and she has seen a lot of things. The question that I believe sits on everybody's mind when she says any of this stuff, when she comes out and says any of these things, I think the one question on everybody's mind is this stuff really true? Whether she has how they say it, whether she has the receipts or not, is anything, anything, not just her, but anything that these people are saying are true. But I mean, mostly her, but I'm just saying anything that these people are saying is true. And if so, why was it held back for so long? But shout out to Jaguar Wright as well. Also, can we give a shout out to what is what is it? Street Stars, right? Isn't it Street Stars? The YouTube channel Street Stars. Shout out to y'all too. They do a lot of Jaguar rights. Um, I guess you could say they do a lot of interviews with they do a lot of interviews with Jaguar Wright, where she comes out and says these things. Now, as far as her being on Piers Morgan, I mean, I've already discussed that, and I don't want to discuss that part again. I'm not going to discuss that part again. Do I believe her? I believe some of the stuff that she says. I just said that. I believe some of the stuff that she says, but some of the stuff I just think is like off the wall. But um, back to the story. But officially, right now, um, Brian McKnight, besides Jay-Z, Brian McKnight is the second celebrity to sue this woman. Now, I don't know how much she has, but I think in this lawsuit, it probably, I think it's probably going to go as far as, it probably go just as far as Jay-Z, because I think this in this suit, at some point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just assuming at some point, it's just going to be to retract what she says. Just like in the same one, it's just going to be to retract what she says, and take that bad image on him off of him. That's what I think is probably going to happen.
Bruh.
No, I think that's what it's going to happen. I think that's what it's really all about, in my opinion. That's what I think. Like the whole exact thing is about, is to recant what she said.
What?
That's what I think it is. All right, and that's my view and that's my opinion on this particular episode. All right, hit me out. All right. If you like this content and want to hear more of it, y'all know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Shut up. Sorry, listeners. You know I'm talking to the producer. Sometimes the producer and the sound guy acts real, like real stupid. Oh, before I continue, shout out. Let's give a round of applause to our new sound guy. Let's see how long he stays here. But our new sound guy, we have another Ed. So shout out to Ed. Two Eds is very, very sad. Very sad. One melanin, one Caucasian. Yes. But anyway, let's get back to it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Feel free to share and leave a comment. To all my listeners, I want to thank you for tuning in. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, and I so appreciate that. Until next episode, ladies and gentlemen, I will see y'all later. Peace out.